Internet! Welcome to 2.5 Brains. This is our Amazing Race show. This is the Amazing Race show. We're going to talk all about the new season 34 of the Amazing Race coming up here shortly. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. Like our Facebook page, Paper Road Productions on Facebook. Email the show directly, paperroadproductions@gmail.com. Subscribe right there on the YouTube channel. Share the post. Tell your friends. A lot going on. It's going to be a very, very busy fall with football and reality TV and politics and sports. So a lot of fun stuff to talk all about. I'm going to try to get stuff out as quickly as possible, as often as possible, but some things are just going to have to happen the way they happen. And of course, CBS hates us, also loves us, but hates us, as we have both shows on at the same time. Or not at the same time, same night. So I think the plan for now is to get the watch Amazing Race, record Amazing Race that night to get that out that night, and then the Survivor show the next day or within a couple days. I think is the plan for now. But again, things get screwed up with different things going on. So we'll see. But definitely subscribe to get it all, and we'll get it out to you as soon as possible this year. And we'll go from there. So let's go ahead and get started here. I'm Yo Grab a Gab. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Jessica here as well. Jessica's going to be the co-host again for The Amazing Race. She likes it way more than Survivor, so I won't torture her by making her watch Survivor. She'll probably still watch and probably help out, but I'm also looking for a permanent guest host with me, or at least recurring guests who will want to be on the show. So obviously subscribe, share the post, and tell your friends, and if you know people who are interested in these shows, let us know, and we'll definitely see what we can do. So let's go ahead and get started here. We'll go ahead and bring in Jessica. Jessica, welcome to the show.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, not too bad.
That's good.
So obviously we recorded not a ton over the summer. We did one show over the summer, the Second Chances of 2022. Survivor show. So the show that was, if we did a Survivor, did a Second Chances, this year with everything that we know, who do we want to see? And we did that, a few weeks ago.
So overwhelmed with joy, I forgot about it.
Yeah, exactly. So now we're going to do kind of something, now we're going to do just a cast preview for The Amazing Race. We're going to get started here with that. Jessica, anything you want to mention before we get started? Anything you want to tell anybody or anything?
I don't know about the show or in general. I'm fine. Things are good. I don't know. CBS apparently didn't want to put the cast out on here. They're still living in the last season, so I'm using a different entertainment website because...
Yeah, that's weird.
I went on there, nothing's there yet, so I don't know. But
I saw the same thing. I saw it on E! Entertainment as well.
CBS is still all about the Holderness family, which is fine.
Yeah.
So am I.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. And I said that they released the cast. Survivor released the cast. And I don't know if they're worrying about focusing on that, not the Amazing Race. I don't know, but the cast is out. It's there. Mm-hmm. You can see it, but it's just not on CBS, which is weird. And same with I haven't even checked the Survivors on there. I've seen them on. I've seen the Survivor cast out as well, but I don't know if it's on CBS or not either. I haven't actually looked there for it yet.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that one.
So
I'm so overwhelmed with joy with that show out.
Exactly. So the cats, of course, are a pain in the butt, and she's still here being a pain in the butt. Bailey's still here. He might put his 2 cents in at some point too.
Maybe we're still gonna hear us being attacked by a cat on our feet.
Exactly.
Because she's gotta throw a mousey.
Exactly.
And now she's gonna be quiet.
We'll see.
Right?
Hopefully.
Whatever.
So, one thing as we started here, obviously, I said we're trying to get the show out as much as possible, as quickly as possible. The Amazing Race is always it's pretty quick. It's pretty fun. We talk about the legs of the race. We talk about if there's a roadblock, there's a detour, how each team did. We do a team who did not survive or did not who got eliminated. We talk about who got eliminated and what they did wrong, how they got messed up. A lot of times it's pretty obvious. A lot of times it's the same rules are getting violated. And then obviously at the end we do a power ranking of each team, and it's like, hey, overall, not necessarily this week, they might have had a bad week or a good week. It doesn't necessarily affect that. It's just overall, how's the team looking? Are they looking good? Are they looking like they're going to win? Or are they, struggling?
Because no matter matter how bad a show could be, I still get to see a good show with the show.
Right.
And see travel. They do interesting things.
Yep.
I get to say, are you kidding me? About the people and the cooking and how to make the cheeses and all that. But, you know, it's fun stuff for me.
And it gets to travel, gets to see different parts of the world, gets to see different cultures, stuff like that.
Someone say I sewed once before in my life, so of course I can make a friggin' 10-foot quilt. Like, of course I can do this.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Yeah, it's like one of my favorite lines of one of my favorite movies, Little Big League, when they try to do the math problem with it takes how long it take two people to paint a house. He goes, I should know this. My uncle's a painter.
Exactly.
It's like I don't think that matters, but sure.
But anyways.
So
getting back on
track. So we're gonna talk about the cast here, give our initial thoughts, and kind of go from there. Maybe make a winner pick. I really don't know. But
it's so hard though.
It is. It's really hard.
There's no detail.
I know.
As you'll soon find out as we're going through all of this, there's not much detail on many of the people.
There's videos for a lot of them, right? Obviously, we're not gonna go through and watch play them, but
it's a minute each. But
yeah. So.
Get some detail. You get to see the people
and how they interact with each other is important,
right?
For sure. And obviously, a very diverse cast. They've been really focusing on that last couple seasons, so that's exciting. So we'll see how that goes.
They got it last season, so let's hope they do it this season.
Yeah, for sure. They did a great cast last season, no doubt. They definitely did a good job. One thing though is I want to start here. There's one thing that came out. I don't know if you saw it about the Amazing Race this season.
You know I didn't see it.
Okay. So a major rule change.
Okay.
One thing about the Amazing Race, it's always reliable. It's always decent. Even if it's not the greatest thing ever, it's you don't have to spend 2 hours thinking about it because it's just a simple show. Mm-hmm. But it's always I said before, you can put it on at 2 a.m. and you'll still get you'll still get a decent amount of eyeballs on it just because it's a show that has a good following and it's always between 4 and 6 million viewers. And
people can watch it after the fact too. So.
Right. I mean, it's very bingeable, and a lot of good things about it.
Mm-hmm.
One major rule change this year.
All right.
I know how much you love the non-elimination legs.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I could take them or leave them, I guess.
Yeah.
I can usually predict when they're coming.
Yeah, I know you're not a huge fan of them though.
They're fine.
Okay. Well, I have breaking news.
People get screwed by them, so.
I agree. Mm-hmm. Some breaking news.
Mm-hmm.
The non-elimination leg
is no longer existing.
Has been eliminated.
Okay.
So there will be no more non-elimination legs.
Interesting.
At least for this season, and they say it's maybe going forward.
Do they have a smaller cast?
Nope, same size cast. You would think maybe a bigger cast because they have more to eliminate, right? But
so there's going to be a lot more longer episodes then, because usually they
double episodes perhaps or whatever.
Yeah, well they usually do usually they do non-elimination because then it keeps them there longer, so to extend the season. So there's just going to be longer legs, double episodes.
You think? I don't know.
Shortening the season. I don't know.
I don't know.
Could be because with Survivor going on at the same time.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the same length of time. I don't know. I don't really know what they're going to do. Last season they had a couple of non-elimination legs, which was interesting, but it was also they had the people who got knocked out. They had to bring some of them back, so that was a whole mess. So I don't know. I don't know what the thing is that they're going to do with this. I couldn't tell you, but we'll see. Yeah. It could be interesting. It could be really great. It could be pretty horrible. We'll find out together. I feel like less non-eliminations is good. Mm-hmm. I'm generally positive on that, but again, are you gonna have if there's 11 teams, you have a final 3, you have a 9-week season?
It all depends. If my team is going to be last on that episode and I pray for a non-elimination that's never going to come, that's going to be the problem.
Sure. Certainly.
So,
certainly.
We'll see.
So we'll see. Let's go ahead and let's start with, so other than that, we'll start with the cast. You got 11 teams, and we'll kind of start here. Jessica, who's team number 1?
Okay, so apologize if I butcher names because obviously I haven't heard them yet.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say Asla La and Nina Wong.
Sure.
So 33, 34, one's a vice president of operations. They're both in like a business role, it seems like. They're engaged from Marina Del Rey, California. So like I said, there's not a lot of detail on them, but, take into the account, they're engaged. So they're committed to each other. It's not that they're a dating couple, so hopefully they don't bicker.
Say it.
I wasn't even going to say that, but me slurring. Hopefully they don't bicker. Hopefully they get along. I like the cat. He's gonna rip. Sorry, people. Evil cats.
Evil cat.
Hopefully they get along. And there's not too much arguments between them. They seem fit. They seem possibly athletic, but like I've talked about before, you don't have to be athletic to be in this show and to do this show. So, that's probably all we can kind of judge off of this right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's one thing I like about the Survivor and the Amazing Race is they're very dichotomous shows to me in a lot of ways. Like Survivor, you have to be in good shape. You have to be strategic. Where this show, you have to make good decisions, and you have to communicate well.
Yeah.
And those that's it's really the two biggest differences between the shows.
Right.
They're both reality TV, both have challenges, both whatever. But this isn't as strategic. It's way more, communication with your partner, and being able to make good decisions on which tasks to do.
Right.
Right. Whereas Survivor, it's just make the strategic decisions. You have to be in good shape to be able to survive and do all this stuff. Right. So
they also get extra points from me because they're wearing the leggings that I love. So there you go.
There you go. And they're wearing the bluish black, uniform with the green shirts.
It's more like all black, and a green like neon T-shirt.
Yeah. So it's kind of they're the team that's gonna be wearing. There's always one team was wearing green and the team's wearing red. Kind of make us stand a little bit. So they're kind of like the
neon green.
Yeah, neon green with like blue black. Mm-hmm. So. Cool. We'll see how they do. Obviously, they're from California, and kind of to compare them to other dating teams or engaged couples we've had. We've had some teams that were dating long distance or whatever. They're in the same part of the country. I'm sure either live together or live nearby. So they are definitely have their lives. They're old enough to where they're not like oh, I met this person online and I'm a a barista. Like they actually are successful in business, at least somewhat. They're they have their stuff together. They seem like they're committed to each other, and they seem like they should at least be able to communicate well.
Right.
So that's important. They're fit women, and they should be able to communicate pretty well. I think those are two good things that you definitely need. Obviously, a matter of what kind of decisions they make, they'll never know that,
right.
And what kind of luck they get. You never really know that either. But we'll see.
Not like the couple from last season that broke up, so it didn't come back.
Right, that one.
Okay.
That was what I was talking
about. Just checking. Yep. All right.
Next,
Abby Garrett, 24, who's data scientist, and Will Freeman, not to be confused with Freddie Freeman,
right.
25, accountant. Childhood sweethearts from Birmingham, Alabama. So,
Birmingham,
if they've been together that long, they're probably pretty solid. It just depends on how much pressure they've had on their relationship, though. Like, this show does cause pressure between people. Like, obviously, this is a time where, it's $1 million mistake if you're trying to decide what to do and you bicker, and that's when the problems happen. But I don't know. I think I feel kind of positive about them. They are pretty young, but, hopefully them being together for so long, knowing each other for so long, kind of works out for them.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, it's another thing, that we had, we had a team, years ago. I think even before John and Jacqueline, the Michigan football player, Miss Michigan, were on Survivor together on the Blood vs. Water. Before that, we had, I think it was a cheerleader from Texas and a football player from Texas, and they were, they were together for a long time. They were a dating couple, and they did decently well. They had known each other for a long time too before that, and they did decently well. They didn't win, but they went relatively far. These guys are all blue, and I was maybe thinking they'd be like red for Crimson Tide, but I guess blue for
the blue team, the blue Barracudas, if you will.
Indeed. I definitely will. So we'll see. Again, they are pretty young, but they're not like college age, a little bit older than that. Yeah. And again, they also are childhood sweethearts, whatever. But does that mean they've been together since they're kids, or were they like kind of just like? And reconnected after, I don't know how, I really don't know what the relationship is particularly.
Yeah. I always take that as they've known each other basically since they've been kids, and then, eventually ended up together.
Exactly. I think so too. And then obviously they are also in a similar field, right? So, data and obviously they're
accountant.
Strategic, probably nerdy, but from Alabama, so they've got to be somewhat, fed. You know what I'm saying?
I guess.
Got to be in some sort of stock, I should say. They got to be of some sort of stock, because most people from Alabama are, at least somewhat farmery, or they're somewhat, in good shape physically. That's very general, but I'm saying they look like they're in good shape, and they are have some sort of intelligence to them, but also look like they're in good physical shape.
But devil's advocate, like I said, you can see someone that's in shape, but they may not be able to do anything physical. I know people that are like that are small and skinny, and they get winded just doing physical things. So we'll see what happens with them.
Yeah, no, for sure. I definitely agree. And there's been a lot of teams who are in great shape and they make bad decisions, and there's other teams who are not in great shape and they can't handle the challenges. So we'll see. We'll see how they do. I'm not too down on them, but we'll see how they do.
Yep.
Team number 3.
Aubrey, Ayers, and David. Okay, Ayers, 29, dance studio owner, and David Hernandez, 29, helicopter mechanic. So it says they are ballroom dancers from Los Angeles, California, which is interesting. Yeah, okay, so he must dance and also is a helicopter mechanic, which is a very interesting field to come across. One would assume that they are together. It doesn't say anything that they're dating or anything, but maybe not. I don't know.
No.
Looking at them too, they seem fit. I mean, you'd assume with the ballroom dancer, they definitely have stamina and everything else. Stamina is different than strength, though, so we'll see how well they do with like any strength activities, but any kind of hiking or stuff like that, I think they'll be okay.
Agreed. They're also wearing black, so we'll see how they do. I think so. One of the worst teams. I was really actually pretty happy they won because they were up against teams I didn't like. One of the worst teams to win. There's in that stretch where all the bad teams were winning, like they're like last place the entire time, and they end up being just above last place the whole race, and they won the last leg, and there's only leg that won the whole time, and whatever. One of that pair was the social media season when they had all the social media stars, and it was the couple who did dance instructions on YouTube. And they won. They actually broke up on the race. She threatened to walk off, and he threatened to walk off because they couldn't stand being around each other. And then they won, and then they broke up and split the money. And now his girlfriend's pregnant, and I still follow them. So whatever. But that was a few years ago, and that was it. It was one of those seasons. It was with Tyler and Corey's original season. And they went really far, and they were dominating. I didn't like them as much that season as I did in their last season they're on. I really liked them in their last season they're on. But so I mean, it's all that being said, dancers do really, really well. If you have that performance, if you have that, the physical, because dancing's very physically demanding, and if you have the entertainment,
there's a lot of tasks that you have to perform or memorize something or anything.
Exactly.
And they can definitely do that.
Exactly correct. And that's what I'm saying. So dancers, I definitely think do really, really well just in general on this show. So, I mean, there's not been anybody who I'm like, oh my God, they're going to suck so far. There's some who I feel like might do better than others, but, and of course, if your partner is also on the race, like if you're just a dancer and your partner's a whatever, but if you both dance together, you know each other, you got the communication already, so I think that's huge. I think that's really huge. And like I said, that's why I think it was Matt, and I don't remember what her name was, but Matt, the guy in there, and a lot of times a lot of dancers also sing, but that couple who won the Amazing Race that season, that's I think a big part of it. They danced on YouTube together. They taught people how to dance on YouTube, and they were big stars. And it was no secret that they were actually the community the worst, which was funny, but they had a lot of those things, the memorization, the physical stuff, and all that, and they were able to parlay that into a win. So I feel good about this team too.
Yeah.
Team 4.
Derek
Zhao.
It's not pronounced Zhao though, but yes. 24 product manager, and then Claire Rufus, 25 engineer.
AI engineer.
Reality romance from Los Angeles, California.
Great.
So, reality romance does not bode well for them to begin with. Yeah, especially like we said last season. Who was it? I don't remember their names now.
Yeah, I remember.
They dated and they were from Love Island, and then they broke up and didn't come back after COVID hit.
Yep.
So I foresee arguments in their future. Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how well that they're gonna do. I'm trying to think of the thing from the fair. Instead of saying Confucius say. Zoltar. Zoltar predicts many arguments in their future.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what show they're on. I'm sure.
No.
And I think it's true now. The one thing that people were complaining about was the casting was very archetype-y.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got one from this group, one from this group. Check this box. Check this box. Check this box. And now they're trying to be more diverse, so they're just still checking boxes with more diverse people.
Yeah.
Right. So you got the reality TV star. You got the gay couple. You got the parents. You got the reality TV star. Or whatever. You got whatever people from other shows. So it's just it's still a lot of the same mold. It's just different people fitting into those molds.
Yeah.
Which is whatever.
And it's not to say anything against them. I just feel like every time you get a reality romance couple, I really don't feel like they know each other that well, or they find out on these kind of shows with the pressure that, maybe they can't overcome arguments that they have or whatever. It just, there's not, from what my memory serves me watching this show, nothing ever comes out well with a lot of reality stars.
That's true.
Couples.
That being said, the blind date season was a season that was really great because they didn't know each other at all, and those teams did better than the established couples. So
because you didn't know the person and the other person didn't take it personally.
Right.
Because you didn't know
it was a business decision.
Right.
That's all it was, right?
Right.
And that's why I think this will be a little different.
This people take, it's personal. If the person doesn't want to trust you or disagrees with you, and there's more emotion to it than a blind, couple.
For sure, a blind date couple.
Yeah.
They were wearing pink and purple, right? Or is that fuchsia?
It just looks like all like a pink, fuchsia color.
Okay, and they also, just a side note, they kind of look like from a few seasons ago, Vank and Ashton. Which was the season where all teams that never met before, they just met at the starting line, and it was like whoever finished the challenge in the first got to pick their partner, and then so on and so forth down the line. And Ashton's like, I hope I get this big, strong, hunky dude, and Vank's this little Asian geeky guy. He's like, I'll take her, because he thought she was hot, and then they did really bad. So
obviously,
they remind me of that. Not necessarily gonna do that well or that terrible or whatever, but it was just funny. So,
right, that's funny.
Anyways, next team 5, we're on.
Yeah, so this one is super interesting.
Okay.
Emily Bushnell, 36, law firm admin, and Molly Seinert, 36, healthcare admin, long lost twins. One's from Ardmore, PA, and one's from Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. So that's a pretty cool story, that they're long lost twins finding each other. I'm sure we're going to get to see more of or hear more of their story. Also have my leggings on. Mm-hmm. Nice choices.
Just gives me the wardrobe.
The fashionista. I am not a fashionista at all. I just like comfy clothes, and comfy leggings are the best. This is going to be interesting. We don't know how long they've known each other, exactly. How long they've been reconnected and everything else. But twins also have an unspoken connection with things and everything else, so it might work out in their favor. Hopefully they get along pretty well, and they succeed.
So I don't know how they're gonna do. I mean, obviously they're wearing blue tops and then obviously leggings. The
best leggings.
The great leggings, absolutely, sure. I can't say that. So so here's the thing though. I don't know how well they're gonna do, but these are the reasons I watched The Amazing Race.
Yeah, for the interesting stories.
For these things, right?
Yeah.
I mean, sure. the couples that you're like, well, that's weird. Oh, that's cool, or
last season was amazing. We saw that movie that was a 315 to Paris or whatever.
It was, yeah.
And seeing the actual guys that were a part of that whole terrorist attack on there that stopped them, that was amazing. And then the other guy that we both knew of, that went to jail for, murdering someone, but was falsely accused and falsely imprisoned for 10 years. And he's on the show. That stuff was awesome. That definitely made the show last season for all those stories.
And I think, I don't know if I feel like it's easier to cast Amazing Race because you have a partner, you're not by yourself, you're not strawberry on an island, You can go have some fun, do some challenges, run around, see the world. I think it's way easier to cast in Miss Mary, so I think they do get a lot more like really interesting people, and I think they get a lot more. And you don't necessarily get to dig in as deep on them because it's not as strategic of a show or whatever. But you get to hear some cool stories, get to meet some interesting people. And I think it's I think you said that. You asked me which show I'd rather do. I'd probably rather do this show because you have someone with you the whole time, and you get to see the world. And I think that's why the show casts that they always get a celebrity in there or two, whatever. But they get some really cool people, some really cool stories, and that's what I really like about this show. And this pair really personifies that for me.
Yeah.
I don't know how well they're gonna do, but I know I'll be rooting for them.
Oh, yeah. We want to hear about everything with their stories. And, so they don't get in too deep. But a lot of stuff happens where, they'll be in a situation and then they'll go off and just say, like, oh, this reminds me of this. Or I'm so happy to be here because of this or that. Could have prevented me or anything. Like, it does get into the emotional part of it with this show. And I like that, too, with that connection. Because with this show, people aren't going in to backstab and lie to other people. Like, most people work together for the most part.
Yeah.
Until the end.
Right. And then obviously there's U-turns some of that, which whatever. But it's not like that.
It's not cutthroat.
Right.
Like it can be, but it's really not meant to be cutthroat like that.
Absolutely. Perfect. And I said I like this couple. I said one thing you said too. I don't know how long they've known each other. I don't know. Maybe we'll find that out.
How long they've been reconnected? I'm sure for a little while, but yeah, who knows? It could just be a couple years.
Yeah, and it kind of seems like that. It kind of seems like they were kind of
right.
Adopted out, and then they lived their separate lives, and they met each other later in life.
Right. Yeah.
Which would be really neat.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
And also sad.
Yeah, also sad. No doubt. So I have siblings who are I have not siblings. I have cousins who are adopted. So I know it's they're obviously grew up together, but they're the only two people they know in the world.
Right.
So.
Yep. Yeah.
Anyways, next team.
Glenda, 41 insurance underwriter, and Lamaba Roberts, 41 middle school teacher. They are newlyweds from Norcross, Georgia.
And what's interesting about them?
So she's a lot taller than him.
Yeah, by a lot.
Yeah, but I don't know. People like what they like.
Yeah.
Definitely fit. They're wearing orange, and she's also got the nice leggings on too. Nice choices. Newlyweds. So I could see bickering happening with that too. Not that we don't know anything about that. Not at all. No. Like I said, it's hard to judge without more context with people and just kind of seeing. But, you go off of what you imagine. Like newlyweds, are they still in the honeymoon phase or are they past that? Hopefully they're still within that honeymoon phase where they can get along and make decisions together. But it's all going to come out when we see the personalities of every group.
Absolutely.
How they are together.
Absolutely. And the only thing I'm going to say, I agree with everything you said. They're obviously the orange team. They have, they're definitely in good shape, physically fit. She's ripped and huge and tall.
And he's a gym teacher.
He's a gym teacher.
So,
yeah. So we'll see. Only thing I'm gonna say, they're both 41, and they're newlyweds. So I wonder if this is their first marriage.
I mean, it could be. This day and age, people are getting married a lot later.
Depending on if somebody's related to their career or whatever.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It'll be interesting to find out because that could make a big difference in how they communicate and everything like that too. If they're if they're newlyweds and they've never been married before, if they're newlyweds and this is their third marriage, it's going to be a huge difference. I think.
I mean, is it good or bad though? If they're on their third marriage, that means communication's probably an issue.
Probably bad, yeah. So, but if they said they both then if they dated for 12 years and then just got married recently, that's a big difference.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, or if they were on this is the third marriage and like we just went to Vegas last week and got married, it's gonna make a big difference.
Yeah,
so.
No, for sure.
Cool. What is next? Who is next?
Luis Colon, 34, firefighter, and Michelle Burgos, 34, dancer, married from Miami, Florida. So again, firefighter, obviously in really good shape. Dancer in very good shape. They look like to be the red team. Another newly or married couple, I guess. They're not newlyweds. So, what we've also seen too, if people have kids, we don't know if they have kids. Most times they communicate a lot better because they have to deal with things. The one couple, of course, I can't remember names because I don't remember many names.
From last season 4?
2 seasons ago, maybe. The Asian couple.
Oh, Hung and Chi.
Hung and Chi, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, they...
Also were red.
Right. They communicated very well, and they rarely got angry at each other or anything like that argument. So we'll see if they're about the same.
Yeah, and of course my winner pick last season also wore red, and then also the team Detroit wore red last year. And they have they look like, again, they look similar to my winner picks last season. I mean, obviously they're a little different. I mean, they
Sam and Connie.
Yeah, Sam and Connie, exactly. So I don't know. I think not much really to say. I think where are they from?
Florida.
From Florida, right? Miami, Florida. Yeah. Inside Judge Judy joke there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Jerry Judy, Judge Judy.
Judge Judy. Judge Judy.
And obviously they're married from Miami. I wonder what kind of dancing she does.
I don't know.
Is he a firefighter who went to the strip club afterwards? Now he's married, or
she's not that kind of dancer.
How do you know?
Because she's not that kind of dancer. She almost looks like she could be a cheerleader.
I was thinking like a cheerleader, like my Dolphins cheerleader or something. Or a former Dolphins cheerleader. Because she's 34. She can't be a Dolphins cheerleader. She's 34.
Yeah, apparently. I don't know.
Anyways, so, cool. Next, anything else? Or
no,
next?
I'm good.
Next.
Linton, 50 assistant principal, and Sharik Atkinson, 23, master's student. So father-daughter from Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah.
I was going a different route, but I didn't keep reading. So the father-daughter teams, they're kind of off and on, I guess, with how they get along, because obviously who doesn't butt heads with their parents? I know I've butt heads with my father and with things that we've decided, and, you're not always going to probably come to the same conclusion with stuff, but depending on how close they are, they could have a good shot. He's also, older, so that will definitely come into play, and it looks like they are wearing yellow, I would assume.
Yeah, yellow and black, the Jamaica flag on them. So I'm guessing they're from Jamaica?
Yes.
Well, I will say this too. I think one thing, the father-daughter team last year did great. I mean, not great. They got Detroit. They got bumped out.
And then they were brought back.
Yeah, and then they got non-limbed a couple times, but they did communicate well.
They did.
They did communicate well. They weren't great in challenges. They didn't make great decisions, but they did communicate well.
Yeah, they did bicker a little bit, though, with some things, because she's like, you can do it, and he's like, I told you I can't do this, and then they had to change what they were doing.
Right,
so.
and then the father-son team the year before that, season before that, was the basketball coach and the basketball player. They didn't really bicker.
No.
They just made bad decisions, and he was a lot older, and it was harder for him to keep up with stuff, and that was really the problem. He looks like he's in good shape. He's also 50, so I mean, he's not as young as some of the other people, but it's not all 20-year-olds on the cast either. So,
no.
I mean, I don't know. These teams never do great, so I don't necessarily have hopes for them, but. I mean, we'll see. I'm always wrong anyways. What the hell do I know?
We'll see more when the first episode comes out and see how people actually act.
Yep. Next.
Marcus, 38 Army Tank Commander, interesting, and Michael Craig, 30 Air Force fighter pilot, military brothers from Richmond Hill, Georgia, and Alamogordo, New Mexico. Sure. So looks like they're both from the military, must have served together or something.
Brothers, yeah.
Military brothers, yeah. Well, yeah, never mind. Obviously you'd think with military and everything, definitely in shape, have stamina, all that stuff. But if we're taking a page out of Survivor's book, War Dog didn't do that well and stuff.
True.
But, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But, they probably get along really well, and I wouldn't see them arguing too much, because this kind of relationship would say you have each other's back no matter what, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on if the older brother is older and he's going to be the drill sergeant and tell the other ones to do a lot.
Yeah.
It depends on how they do communicate. But I think, looking at them just physically, they're freaking... I mean, one drove a tank, the other one is a tank.
Right.
I mean, holy good God.
Right.
And I said they're not young. They're 38 and 30. So they're not, but they're also not old. So they're in a good spot there. We'll see how they do. I mean, I'm they don't live really near each other, right? Because one's in Georgia, one's in New Mexico. Yeah. So they're not really, they don't really live that close. I don't know what the relationship is, in general. But they seem like they're certainly a good team. They look like they're gonna be the green and black team.
Something like that.
So
or like
green bandanas on them,
almost blue and
gray. Yeah.
Gray. It's hard to tell.
Hard to tell.
Yeah.
But again, they're definitely hardworking. They're hardworking. They're good physical shape. Just the question I have is, will they communicate well? Because obviously, if one's like barking orders to the other one like they're in the military, obviously the one may listen to it, but they also may be like, hey, we're not in the military anymore.
Yeah. They're both from high pressure situation jobs though, so that'll come into play with all this stuff too.
Yeah, I don't think balancing something on a stick is gonna be a stressor for them.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think they're gonna be able to handle themselves.
If you can drive a tank, then I think you can do that.
Right, you're an Air Force pilot, fighter pilot.
Air Force fighter pilot. That's not stressful.
No, not at all. No. I think they should both be at least when the pressure's on, I think they'll be good. For sure. What's next?
Quentin Perrin, 29 choreographer, and Maddie Lynch, 27 dance coach. Former Rams cheerleaders from Pasadena, California, and Vista, California. So first of all, go Bills. This is awesome.
Rams got stomped.
This is really funny. The Rams got spanked. Go Bills. But again, a lot of dancers this season. A ton of dancers. I mean, dancing choreographer. That'll come in handy, like you said, with performances, memorizing, and all that stuff. I'm assuming they work together still. For Rams cheerleaders, I'm assuming they're still kind of doing something like that now, choreographer, dance coach. Not to, I guess, stereotype the position, like that kind of job, but maybe the diva coming out, bickering with stuff like that could possibly happen. But, another one that's in shape, has stamina with dancing and everything else, and hopefully they have good communication along with it.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it said that, obviously we know how much is going on, so you have to kind of make some outlandish guesses sometimes, and that's okay. I don't know. I don't really know what else to say about them. They're wearing blue, which is fun. Go blue, I guess. Go Bills.
Go Bills. Say it again.
And the Rams are fine. I mean, they won the Super Bowl, but these guys weren't on the team. I'm sure they won the Super Bowl.
I like Stafford, but go Bills.
Yeah, and other than that, they are doing a lot of dances this year. I just think the dancers tend to do really well, and so that's a good thing. I don't know how these two will do, but the dancers definitely seem to do pretty well.
Right. Okay. How many teams?
I think there's 2 left.
So okay.
Let's skip the next one. Go.
Yes, we're gonna save that one for last. So next, Rich Koo, 32 life coach, and Dom Jones, 35 gym owner, motivational speakers from Huntington Beach, California. Oh, hi, Frankie.
Exactly.
First of all, life coach. Okay.
Yeah, all right. Get a real job.
There's therapists and motivational speakers is fine, but life coach, to each their own.
So, I'm guessing Dom is the girl?
Yes.
Dominique?
Yeah, Dominique, exactly. Gym owner, so obviously she's pretty fit. He's in shape. Motivational speakers are, that's a good thing to be in, and that hopefully means that you're positive, you're able to push through things and communicate with each other. I can see them probably being hopefully one of the calmer sets.
You'd think.
Calmer group, just because of what their background is, but... you never know. We'll see.
You never know.
People might not want to go to a life coach that freaks out on the show, so I'm sure they're going to take that into account.
I mean, when you look at them, the first thing I think of is homeless, and then I think life coach.
I don't think homeless.
I
think eclectic.
Okay, weird.
Sure.
I say weird, and I say, well, they gotta have a job, so they're probably a life coach. And by life coach, I mean homeless.
He is. She's a gym owner.
Okay.
So she's got a real job, and she looks like she does go to her gym that she works at. Yeah. So motivational speakers.
That hair though, she looks like she just got into a giant fight with a bowl of Fruit Loops.
That's why I said eclectic, unique.
She looks like she got into a fight with a bowl of Fruit Loops. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, it's a different kind of rap, but not something I would necessarily pick for color wise.
Anyways, that's fine.
It's just interesting though how they have it as motivational speakers. So are they both motivational speakers for health and stuff?
They do it together. Are they separate?
Right. That's
they both happen to be motivational speakers. And they ran into each other at a motivational speakers conference. And now they're motivational speakers.
Possibly.
They're married and they're not together.
Maybe.
Anyways.
All right. So last
one is someone who I saw. I'm like, this guy.
Last but not least. So okay, that's what I was gonna say as we're going through all of this stuff is, most of these people are in shape. Like, there's not a lot of bigger people on the show.
Guys.
Yeah, or fat women, like bigger women, like, you know, husky women and men. However,
and there's always that one celebrity on the show too.
Yeah, and there's only one celebrity. At least we know who this person is. The other ones, I guess, are kind of celebrities, but don't know who they are. So,
correct.
I'm gonna say again, multiplied by infinity, go Bills. The last team is Tim Mann, 40, probation officer, and Rex Ryan, 59, ESPN analyst, also former head coach of the Buffalo Bills
and New York
Jets. However, he only was with the Bills for about 2 years because he couldn't get it. He couldn't get it to go, and then people were over it, and now we finally got McDermott. Go Bills. Go McDermott. Go McBean. Yep. But he's the only one that's, I would say, is overweight on this show. Not to say overweight in a mean way, but, like, he's a bigger dude. Definitely not in shape. Not at all. His partner is a little bit more in shape, but they're older. I mean, he's the oldest one on this show. If they get past the first episode, I honestly say I'll be surprised.
Really?
Yeah.
I think. See, okay.
I hope them. They're both from Brentwood, Tennessee. Also, I hope they do. Yeah, they're golf buddies. Because when I was looking at this, I was trying to figure out how they know each other and whatnot. I want them to go further because I want to see him. Because as much as I don't like him anymore as much, he's going to be entertaining. Yeah. And I want his shirt. But Team T-Rex, you know, you're not... Yeah, Rex Ryan, I guess. T-Rex, whatever.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, obviously they're wearing gray, you know, at least somewhat. I thought he'd be on with Rob. I thought that'd be him and Rex and Rob Ryan would be on.
The first thing I asked when you said that Rex Ryan's going to be on the show, I'm like, is he on with his brother Rob?
Yeah.
They wouldn't last past the first episode if it was both of them.
No.
He's got kind of hope with this guy, but it all depends on what the first leg is.
Yeah, I mean, I do think there have been football coaches on reality TV before. Jimmy Johnson comes to mind. He was on Survivor, one of the worst seasons of Survivor. He was, I think, the third boot. They won the first challenge, I think. No, they lost the first challenge. But then I think they won the second one, and then they were rolling. They weren't rolling. They won they lost the first challenge. They won the second one, and Jimmy Johnson took the lead. You know, because of course he would. He's a Hall of Fame coach, right? And he's coaching the players, teaching them what to do, blah blah blah, and they're like, "Yeah, we don't need you," and they dumped him in pretty quickly, and he went out really early. So, I think I don't see Rex being the first out, but I don't see him going past 3 episodes. Like you said, you'll be shocked if he goes past the first. I'll be shocked if he goes past the third. I'll give him. I won't be surprised if he's out first. I don't think he'll be out first, but I will be surprised if he's past the third.
He's just not. You know, I know I've said you don't have to be fit, but he is not kind of in a prime shape though to get through a lot of this stuff.
Correct.
If you're older and heavier, it definitely isn't going to work in your advantage. And, you know, we went to the Bills practices and we saw the coaches warming up before the practices started. It's like the coaches have to warm up for the practice. Mm-hmm. He was not one of those people that would warm up for the practices. He would just stand there and do his thing. But
yeah, I said, and he's good personality. He's funny, you know, all those things.
Yeah,
so
it's going to be entertaining.
I just, you know, if you're looking for, you know, and obviously they want the celebrity, they want the big name, they want, you know, and they always do that. They always bring in unique people. They always bring in people who you know, normally, like, the Holdernesses were kind of that. You know, there's celebrity, you know, some celebrities, there's people who are, you know, reality TV stars or
former
social
NFL
media.
players.
Right.
Like, that stuff
Basketball
I look
players.
for. Like, I want more sports, like, people on this.
The Battaglia brothers went on, the hockey players, they won.
I was just going to say, I want some old hockey players.
Yeah,
some retired
Tom from
hockey
Survivor.
players.
Tom Laidlaw from Survivor.
Some more retired NFL players that were good players would be nice.
Yep, I mean, you know, D'Angelo Williams, right? And then
let's bring in Chad Ochocinco.
And, you know, they had him and Tio on a team together. Would be a freaking disaster.
I'd watch that.
I would too, but it'd be a disaster.
Yep.
And then you know, they said there's some other, you know, they said they had the former basketball players a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. You know, I think.
They had competitive eating, Joey Chestnut.
Yeah, right, exactly. Oh, man, I can't forget him. Oh, yeah.
Can't leave out Joey Chestnut. He was just
He's
here.
a legend.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't know. So, I mean, overall, I think he wasn't in good shape. He didn't agree on the race because he wasn't in good shape.
Well, yeah.
Go figure.
I mean, he isn't big, though.
No, he's not. He's just
but not a runner.
Can't imagine. Yeah. So you said Rex Ryan being on the show is really interesting. I don't know. Again, I don't know how good he's gonna do. I'd be surprised if he goes really far. If CBS is hoping he's gonna carry the show because they don't have anybody else good, then I think they're gonna be in for a rude awakening. Yeah. And he said, and these the older coaches, the older people, the celebrities, they don't often do that great. I mean, the Battaglia brothers did really well because they had both just gotten out of the NHL, or I think one was actually still in the NHL when they went on and won. So like they were in the prime of their lives, their careers. Right. Rex will be fun, entertaining. I don't hate him as much as most people in Buffalo do. But he said he's on ESPN now. He talks about football, and he's got a cushy gig now.
The only reason I don't like him as much, my sister saw him at a Yankees preseason game and their training camp, and people were in Tampa, and people were kind of yelling at him, "Go Bills" and stuff like that, and he was kind of telling people like, "Shut up and leave him alone." So I don't enjoy that. Like if if you ever are with the Buffalo Bills, you're a legend to everybody that's here as long as you're good. Like Doug Marrone, go away.
Yeah.
But I would have been fine with him except for how he was being rude to people. Yeah. So
and like I said, and it's hard because you're probably the team, and like for example Bobby Valentine, when he was the coach of the Red Sox for a year, he did terrible and they fired him, and like now enough time has passed where if he came back they'd be like, oh, okay Bobby, you're fine. Right. And like now I bet you if Rex came back and was like, I want to be I want you to love me again, Buffalo would. I think they would.
And it's not, that's why I said it's from a personal like association that I didn't like it. Yeah. But I mean, he tried to do it.
Yeah, I wanted to see him succeed because everybody said he wasn't going to. I wanted him to prove everybody wrong. He proved them all right. Yeah. Unfortunately, like I said,
the Jets haven't gotten better though. So
he was the best coach the Jets have had in a long time because they actually made the playoffs under him, went to the AFC Championship with him. Right.
But I was also say maybe in like 10 years down the line, Josh Allen could be on The Amazing Race, him and Diggs.
I mean,
I'm going to petition for this.
No, like 20 years when they retired.
Well, 20 years. Yeah, I mean when they retire, but like...
Josh has got more than 10 years left. Don't be saying that.
No, that's fine. I'm just going to petition for when they retire.
Okay, fair enough. Mm-hmm. And they can have the picture with him on the shoulders like they do on this cast photo sometimes.
Yeah.
That's the celebrity who's on this season. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be... And it's going to be a fun season. I think it's going to be a fun group. And I said, we'll see how they do. One last side note on Rex Ryan. I know the guy who bought his house in Buffalo. So that's cool. When he sold his house, he left all his bill stuff there because he didn't need it anymore. And the guy I know bought his house, so that's cool. Anyways, so that's all. What do you think about the cast overall before we wrap up here?
I don't think I have a big opinion on it either way on any of them. I can't really say who I'd pick to win it all at this point. I really think we're going to have to watch an episode before we can kind of determine anybody, which I know sucks, but there's no information about anybody out there besides what we've seen so far.
We may have to maybe watch the videos, whatever, but I'm just going to kind of see what happens on the actual episode. Right. I know you are famous for picking your person after episode 1, and you've done pretty well doing that. I mean, you picked Ben, you picked other people, and I remember you picked... who was it? It was the reality TV wars, right? It was
Corey and
Brittany and not Brittany. You know what I'm talking about?
Kind of, but I can't remember who I picked.
No, Nick and Vic.
Nick and Vic. Yeah, I liked them a lot.
Yeah, you picked them like right after. They did pretty well too. So I'm kind of on the fence of who I'm going to pick here, but I think for me, I think the one I want to go with is.
That's it.
I want to go with I'm gonna go with I have a good vibe about Aubrey and David, so I'm gonna go with them.
Okay.
Just the helicopter mechanic and the dance studio owner, the ballroom dancers. I feel good about them. I know. There's nobody here who's like, oh my god, they're terrible. I think Rex is not gonna do great. I don't know how long the twins are gonna be on there for. Even though they're and then the father daughter. I'm not feeling super high on those 3 teams necessarily. Even though I'd love to see them all do great. There's nobody who's really jumping out like but.
So is this your pick or is this just your initial pick? Okay. Oh. I mean, I can pick someone now too.
If you want.
between the military guys, but I don't know. I think my pick is going to be Louis Colon and Michelle Burgos, the firefighter and dancer.
Yeah.
From Miami, Florida.
Also
Everyone's from like Florida and Georgia.
Yeah, they must have had a nice casting call down south.
And California.
Yeah.
But anyways. Yeah, I mean, I think with the job that they have and everything, and hopefully that they get along pretty well.
Yeah, they're married. They've probably been married for at least a few years. So we'll see. We'll see. I said I think it's way too early. We're not gonna know anything. But
no.
as it gets closer in, we'll have probably even better rooting interests. But yeah, I think I feel good about it. I think it's gonna be a fun season. It's always a fun season. It's always just something that, even if it's it's one of the things too. Like if you're ever like working from home and you want to put something on in the background, like the back catalog of Amazing Race, the first 20 seasons would be something just to put on in the background. You can see some cool scenery, watch a couple challenges, some goofy things happen, and it's one of those things where it's just a fun. It kind of like when it was like COVID's over, and now we can enjoy nice, fun, lighthearted entertainment again, and that's kind of how the show the show kind of means to me,
No, I agree. I just think you use the term in the background a little bit off because you're not actually going to watch it if it's in the background. I put on stuff in the background that it's just kind of like white noise.
Sure.
I'll sit here and want to watch everything because I want to see what's going on.
Sure.
But, yeah.
But like if you're working and you can look up and have to follow it closely, but you can see like, some cool scenes and the scenery and the places they've been. That's what I meant.
Yeah. Not, I guess, for my personality, I'll be pausing and rewinding constantly because I missed something. Yeah. So, yeah. No,
but maybe not. But either
I know what you're saying.
Cool.
I understand.
So, other than that, Jessica, anything else to add?
No, I don't think so.
The show will be on about a week. It's about a week or so away. So, we were doing this, about a week before the show starts. So, definitely be sure to come back and check it out. And obviously, we'll be talking about it when it does start. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. You can like our Facebook page, Paymore Productions on Facebook. You can email the show directly, paymorproductions@gmail.com. And you can share the post and tell your friends. And I said, if you have, honestly, some of our biggest shows the last 2-3 years have been the Amazing Race shows. A lot of
me.
Well, you're all of them though. So the Amazing Race is one of those things where I think people really enjoy it, and it's fun and lighthearted, and we can have fun with it. I think that's something that people really enjoy. So,
hashtag Go Bills. Hashtag Super Bowl
57
contender.
There you go. Cool. Other than that, thanks for everybody for being a part of it. Thank you, Jessica, as well. I know you'll be back for this part of it. We'll see about the Survivor stuff, but at least you'll be back for this part of it. And thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Until next time, anything else, Jessica?
Go Bills.
All right, and go Bills, and safe travels.